Greeting Bay Path students, faculty, staff, and family members. I'm Peter Testori, Dean of Academic Support Services and Assistant Coordinator of Title IX, and it is my privilege to welcome you to Convocation 2020. Convocation celebrates the beginning of the academic year at college campuses all over the country. We come together, students, faculty, staff, members of the administration, friends, and family, to mark the beginning of another year in the Academy and to welcome our newest students to it. To our new students, you recently learned about the importance of academic integrity in our community, and you participated in a pledge to be ethical in word and action. The seniors also signed that pledge when they entered Bay Path, and we hope that they have been true to its word. It's an important part of our character, our fiber, and our community. Although things might look and feel slightly different this year, as we all adjust to living in a socially distant world, at Bay Path we remain passionately committed to maintaining this sense of community. Classes may be online, but you will still receive an excellent education. Traditions may be reimagined, but they will continue to be embraced. And we may be physically apart, but we will always be together as one Bay Path community. This year, our campus theme is Own Your Now Resilience. I can't imagine a better theme than this for 2020. There's a quote in our Convocation program from a comedian and actress, Gilda Radner. I wanted a perfect ending. Now I've learned the hard way that some poems don't rhyme and some stories don't have a clear beginning, middle, and end. Life is about not knowing, having to change, taking the moment and making the best of it without knowing what's going to happen next. Delicious ambiguity. It is my hope for each of you that you can truly embrace the theme and spirit of the quote this year. Uncertainty can be unsettling, but it can also be an opportunity to think about things a bit differently. So this year, I want you to think differently. When you encounter a challenge, be creative in how you respond to it. And always remember that it's okay to sometimes feel like things aren't going as expected. Just remember that no matter what the circumstances, you are not alone. Today you will hear from members of the Bay Path community, including our Board of Trustees, members of our faculty and administration, our university president, and 3 alumna guest speakers. I hope that you will find something meaningful to you personally in each of these as they help welcome you to the new academic year. I would like to now introduce 2 very important members of the Bay Path community, Dr. Lisa Rook and Tanya Barber. Dr. Rook earned her PhD in comparative literature from Penn State University with a focus on medieval studies and folklore. She sits on the boards of 2 local nonprofit organizations, Pioneer Valley Capella Incorporated and Hybrid Vigor Music Incorporated. This is her 21st year on the faculty at Bay Path. She is now the Assistant Dean of Liberal Studies and will share a few words about academic regalia and the role of faculty in Convocation. Dr. Rook will be followed by one of our esteemed Board of Trustees members, Tanya Barber, who will offer a welcome on behalf of the board. Tanya is the President CEO of Caring Health Center. She earned an MBA in Entrepreneurial Thinking and Innovative Practices from Bay Path University in 2009. And she's remained actively involved since graduating. In 2016, Tanya was honored for her leadership and dedication to community service and improvement at the 2016 Women's Leadership Conference, where she was named to the 21st Century Women Business Leaders Hall of Fame. Tanya was elected to our Board of Trustees in 2017 and serves on the academic and student life committees. Please enjoy.
The Bay Path University welcome you to the new academic year. Whether we are on ground or online, we are here to guide and support you on your educational journey. Wherever you are in your progress toward your degree, you are a part of the academic community. We appear here in our academic regalia as we virtually greet new incoming students and celebrate those who will graduate this year. Our regalia, the gowns, hoods, and caps, has its origins in the universities of medieval Europe. In the Middle Ages, the gowns and caps were worn both for warmth and to identify scholars and teachers. The hood served as both head coverings and receptacles for payments given to instructors for their teaching or tuition. Today, the regalia is symbolic of this long academic tradition of which you are now a part and identifies the wearer's credentials. The length and cut of the gown indicate the degree, while the colors of the hood indicate the area of study and the institution that awarded the degree. Dignitaries, such as the university president and trustees, are entitled to wear specially designed regalia. We encourage you to make connections with your professors. We are dedicated to helping you succeed and look forward to meeting those of you who are new to Bay Path. Our university is a warm, supportive community, and your goals and dreams are important to us. Again, welcome.
Good evening, Bay Path students, faculty, staff, and family members. I'm Tanya Barber, Board of Trustees and 2009 alumna. It is a privilege and an honor to be with you this evening to welcome each of you, both returning students and new students, on behalf of the Board of Trustees to the 2020 Convocation. 2020 is amazing, but it's all based on perspective, how you see it. Over time, our 2020 vision becomes obscured. I didn't always wear glasses. I could have viewed the need for glasses negatively, but rather I chose to see it from a positive lens, that the glasses enhanced my 2020 vision. How will you see and embrace your 2020 academic journey? These are both exciting times as well as uncertain times, although there is a saying, one must redeem the times. In other words, making the most of your time. It is an exciting time as we come together to chart the beginning of a new academic year, a time when we come together to see familiar faces and even meet some new faces. For some, faces look very different today because we have added a new garment, face mask. While face covering is a new normal for some, it has been the norm for other cultures. We come from different backgrounds and we have different belief systems. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is the mission of the Board of Trustees, President, faculty, and staff. Our theme this year is Own Your Now, Resilience. It's about coming together, uniting as one in mind and now in appearance. It's about adopting and creating new ideas, seeing opportunities rather than crises, making the best in certain situations. Now stands for new opportunities waiting. Your now, your future is in your now. You must redeem the time. Over the years, in a positive way, technology has advanced us, moving from on-campus to distance learning, allowing the flexibility of working remote, or simply put, it is when students are separated from teachers and peers by choice and convenience. But when we think about distance learning, we can use this word synonymously with physical distancing, although this would be forced upon us and not by choice. The view of our world has changed from one year to the next. And while physical distancing is much different from distance learning, we choose how we see this. We choose how we adjust through this. So even though we are forced to be separated 6 feet apart, we can look on the bright side, seeing it this way. We are 6 degrees from separation. We are 6 or fewer social connections away from each other than not. We choose how we remain together. So as a community, we can come together to help one another bear the difficulties and trials that will come our way. So in closing, I leave you with this. The number 20 means tried, tested, and true. It's 10 twice, which the number 10 means measured. While you may be tried in these uncertain times and you may be tested, often wondering how will you measure up, but through resilience, you will be made true to who you are destined to be if you endure. Once again, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, welcome and carpe diem.
Good evening, class of 2021, class of 2024, first-year students, transfer students, all students, members of the Board of Trustees, honored faculty, distinguished guests, family, and friends. Welcome. Welcome to the 2020 Convocation at Bay Path University. It gives me great joy to be with you here today to begin my journey as Bay Path's 6th president as you begin your journey here at Bay Path. We are embarking on this journey together, learning together, laughing together, and growing together. All across the country, indeed all over the world, convocations are being held on university and college campuses. The ceremony is rooted in tradition. For example, the wearing of caps and gowns goes back to the 12th century, and its significance is still as relevant as ever. With excitement, with anticipation, Convocation is a celebration by our worldwide academic community of the student experience. The discussion of ideas, the discovery of the unknown, and the joy of diving into a body of knowledge. You are part of a long legacy of students. Every year for the past 123 years, we have come together for support and for achievement. And to our faculty, today is a celebration of you, your passion for teaching, your passion for inspiring our students, your passion for giving yourself completely to the Bay Path mission, and we thank you. It is an honor to be with you here today. To our new students, you are embracing the next stage of your life journey. You come with a desire to learn, to grow, to expand your sense of self through a set of new experiences. I ask you to be bold and be compassionate. Seniors, we ask you to guide and provide wise counsel to the newest members of our community. Help them along the way. This is your moment. Soon you will go out into the world to demonstrate the skills and knowledge you have developed to advance your career aspirations and to contribute as active citizens of our communities and of our country. I ask you to be generous and be kind. Through this convocation ceremony, we are all joined together to form a circle of academic learning that will be all the stronger by your efforts. We are an academic community where you will find support, strength, encouragement, knowing that we have all stood where you now stand. Connections. It is so important to develop and nurture connections with your friends, new and old, faculty, staff, and our alums. With your peers, professors, and friends, you will find common ground and support. Each of you has a unique voice, and we encourage you to use that voice for the benefit of our community. Your ideas, your individual perspectives, your opinions are important, and by expressing them and listening to each other, we will all learn and grow. Listen with an open mind and an open heart. Your community, your connections are all built on these kaleidoscope of voices. Thank you. And now I would like to introduce our speakers. All are alumna of Bay Path University. All are shining examples of how their Bay Path education has changed their lives, and each alum has embraced her version of our theme for this year, Own Your Now. I would like to provide a brief background of each speaker before she shares her journey with us. Alyssa Carlotta will be our first speaker. She is a member of the Bay Path class of 2017. After earning a bachelor's degree in neuroscience, She earned her master's in neuroscience at the University of Massachusetts at Amherst. Alyssa then dedicated 2 years of her life to public service with AmeriCorps Vista. While with AmeriCorps, she served in Portland, Maine at Equality Maine, a statewide LGBTQ plus organization dedicated to education and advocacy for people across that state. Now that her service has ended with AmeriCorps, she started a new journey. Alyssa is back in Massachusetts at Amherst College as a community development coordinator. Following Alyssa, we will hear from Milagros Johnson, who graduated from the American Women's College in 2015. Milagros is a dedicated advocate in Western Massachusetts who is passionate about educating and empowering consumers. For the past 15 years, she has managed a nonprofit program where she has successfully participated in hundreds of educational outreach events throughout her community and ours. She is a recipient of several awards, including Servant of the Year Award by former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney. Finally, we will hear from Melissa Walsh, a 3-time alumna, having earned her associate, bachelor's degree in business, and master's degree in communications and information management from Bay Path. After receiving her degree through the 1-day-a-week Saturday program in 2007, Melissa vowed to return to campus to help other women earn their degrees. And she has. In 2019, she joined the institutional marketing team here at Bay Path, and with a background in marketing and operations management, Melissa spends her days sharing with the world the good news of our Bay Path community and telling the story of our students. Melissa is committed to receiving her 4th Bay Path degree, Master of Fine Arts, and she will graduate in 2024. Please join me in welcoming our speakers, beginning with Alyssa Carlotto.
Good morning, everyone. Before I begin, I wanted to take a moment to personally welcome President Duran into our community. I'd say transition is always a challenge, but you've been dealt a rather unusual deck of cards. This may be overwhelming, but I want you to know that I'm rooting for you, and I know you have a great team ready to help with whatever the rest of 2020 may throw at us. Though I'm crossing my fingers, it stops throwing things at us. I was incredibly honored to be asked to participate in this year's Convocation by Peter Testori, someone I've truly missed since graduating. This was partially because it felt good to be remembered, even after a few years out from my graduation, but also because my convocation in 2013 felt like a real welcome into a new chapter of my life, and mine in 2016 made the fact that I had just started my last year at Bay Path actually seem real. I was asked to talk about my time at Bay Path, how my experiences there shaped me as the person I am today. But it's incredibly hard to consider the past when there's something so demanding standing in front of us. And I know that's why this year's theme was explicitly chosen. In my life, I've dealt with fluctuating resilience since the time I was a young teenager. Throughout the past 2 years, while serving with AmeriCorps, our nation's domestic Peace Corps, my job continuously called on me to be resilient in serving and supporting educational experience and political advocacy for the LGBTQ+ community in Maine. I've always been passionate when it comes to participating in a community I'm part of, but working at a nonprofit was the farthest place I expected myself to land. And at the end of the day, the joy we brought to queer folks of all ages was always worth the exhaustion. And most recently, I struggled to persevere as I hopelessly applied to jobs in the middle of a pandemic. While I was lucky in the beginning to maintain job security, my service ended August 28th and my clock was running out quickly. I was reminded that hopelessness is easy to fall into. Not seeing an end to the chaos is something that can quickly drag you down. But during this time, I knew I had to remain resilient. Resilience to me is like a roller coaster. It's never going to maintain its strength, but as long as you don't let go of it, it'll help you through the ridiculously looping tunnels and the straps that feel like they weren't put on properly. When I think about resilience in my time at Baypath, I don't necessarily think of my schoolwork, but the obstacles I faced to make sure I got that work done, which I'm sure is something many of you understand or will understand once the semester starts. When I look back, I think of the 3 jobs I had to have senior year to pay my tuition. I think of my friends and I trying anything to get folks to come to our club events. I think of the panic of figuring out if I had to change my major because I couldn't process a single sentence of the textbook for organic chemistry. But I've never once had to experience being a student on top of being someone in a global pandemic. Now, working with students in Res Life at Amherst College, I've been having conversations surrounding resiliency for the past 3 weeks. Those conversations usually started and ended with me validating every student I talked to that the situation they're in, trying to thrive in college while following so many new guidelines because of the pandemic, sucks. Period. This isn't going to be the first year, the second year, the third year, or the last year you hope for, and I want all of you to know that it's okay to feel like that's not fair. A lot of the conversations continued this way, discussing how not fun it is that they can't exist in this space as a student, how they had in the past, or how they were looking forward to. But before any of them left, I reminded them of a couple things. There are hundreds of classmates surrounding you experiencing the same thing. You're not alone, and you don't have to sail this drowning ship by yourself. Your journey will be more successful with a crew. I reminded them that they're more capable than they realized. No matter how stir-crazy they get or how behind in homework they may feel, you're going to make it through this semester and the next, and then the next. And after they graduate, they're going to go into the world strong, resilient, and full of the energy and passion the world so desperately needs right now. I know I can say from experience that I'm truly exhausted. And I remind them that as a human race, we faced epidemics and pandemics before and survived. And just like before, we will make it through this one too. But that doesn't mean you're not allowed to be upset, or you're not allowed to be angry. Allow yourself to feel those things and have them push you into doing what you can, when you can, to take care of yourself and others. And when your frustration spikes around wearing a mask in Demore, not being able to sit in lab and car, and having restrictions on what friends you can study with in Elliott, remember that the goal isn't just to make it to the other side, but for all of us to make it there together. I wish you all a surplus of health, happiness, serotonin, and resilience. Carpe diem, Baypath.
Congratulations to each and every one of you. Thank you to Baypath University for this wonderful opportunity, but most importantly, thank you for contributing to my growth. Growth in confidence, belief, strength, and learning to quickly adapt to change. I am proud because I own mine now. I'm resilient. When I was young, I used to watch The Jetsons, an animated sitcom so futuristic that it always left me wondering. 30-something years later, and the technology in The Jetsons is what I believe we're doing this very moment. Did you ever imagine attending a virtual convocation ceremony or attending virtual classes? I most certainly didn't. Let me be honest with you though. It's because of distant learning that I was finally able to obtain my bachelor's degree from Baypath University. Let me explain. I first attended Baypath Junior College in 1980 after graduating high school. Things didn't go as planned, and I had to withdraw during my second semester of my freshman year. I then began working a full-time job at a law firm and put my education on the back burner. A few years later, I earned a certificate of paralegal studies from another college, and then continued chipping away on college credits, hoping to eventually earn my bachelor's degree. That was until I learned about Baypath College offering all-day Saturday and online classes. I finally had the courage to apply in 2013, but was not accepted because I was short 12 credits. While I was disappointed to say the least, I was determined to get into the program. I took the prerequisite courses I needed from other local colleges online and reapplied the following year. This time around, Bay Path College accepted me into the program. I think you can imagine just how elated I was to finally be accepted at the very same school where I began my journey back in 1980. It's simple. I needed to finish my story. In May of 2016, I walked up the stage at the Mass Mutual Center to earn my undergrad diploma, as my husband, daughter, and proud parents watched. That was one of the happiest days of my life. I owe it all to Bay Path University for making what I thought to be the impossible possible for me. Let me share with you some of the biggest accomplishments I've done since graduating. In late 2016, I self-published a children's book titled Lolita's Rainy Day. I wrote the book as a project for the Well 400 course. When putting the project into action at a local charter school, I loved how the children connected with the story and asked how they can get the copy of the book in their homes. Granted, it was only a scrapbook at the time. The book is now in many homes and school libraries, all because Bay Path University brought out the best in me. I was able to fulfill another long-term dream of mine, that was to publish a children's book on financial literacy, a topic I'm most passionate about. You see, Bay Path University revved me up, and I was able to discover my hidden talents and gifts. It taught me to use my voice in any platform, just as I'm doing right now as I tell you my story. I developed courage to face my challenges, have stayed committed to my goals and aspirations, and have the ability to control my purpose in life. Because I learned to be resilient to the obstacles thrown my way, today I am much better prepared for the crisis our country is in. What I learned from this pandemic is not to worry about what I cannot control, but control the controllable, my thoughts and my strength. One thing I know is that we need to remain optimistic as we continue on our mission during these difficult times. We must adapt to change so that we can persevere. You too should own your now. Resilience, that's the word. Doing this will get you further in life. Learn to love who you are and your good qualities. Live in the moment. The past is behind you. Speak louder when you can't be heard. Don't take no for an answer if you know you merit so much better. Fight back when you feel like giving up. Here's a simple way to do it. Stand on your 2 feet in front of the mirror and hold your head up high and say, I own it now. I'm resilient. Repeat it until you believe it. Practice it before you go to bed. Practice it in the morning. Practice it at the lowest points of your day. I promise you that if you believe in yourself, others will too. One of the things I love most about my job is that I get to advocate for consumers and for anyone who needs empowerment. However, because I can no longer do this in person due to COVID-19 restrictions in place, I had to be creative. I had to get creative. I had to think outside the box. And this is when I came up with the Consumer Toolbox, a new podcast I'll be introducing soon on Spotify and iTunes. I welcome you to listen in the coming weeks. I'm currently working on self-publishing my second children's book. I also hope to introduce a mentoring program for young Latina girls who want to go to college but lack support at home. These young ladies need guidance and encouragement from someone who can relate to their story. You see, Bay Path University opened my eyes to so many possibilities, and it will for you too if you simply own your now. Resilience, that's the word. I'll leave you with a quote from Shannon M. Mullen's book titled Seawood Flowers. Even the tiniest of flowers can have the toughest roots. Thank you. Stay blessed.
To my fellow Bay Path students, there are a lot of people tuning in. Bay Path staff, faculty and board members, parents and friends. But I want to talk directly to you. You see, not long ago, although perhaps longer than I'd like to admit, I was just like you. If you combined a traditional residential college student with a student from the American Women's College, you would get me. At 20 years old, I looked like a regular college student, except I was a college dropout, a two-time college dropout, in fact, and I was convinced that my once promising college career was officially over. I had a newly diagnosed mental illness and a string of awful boyfriends and an unshakable belief that I was no longer meant to amount to anything. I had resigned to the fact that I would be a waitress forever until one day, tucked in my mailbox, was a postcard from Bay Path College. I guess that tells you how long ago my story starts, talking about their one-day-a-week Saturday program, which was the precursor to the American Women's College. Something sparked, and I knew this program was for me. I could go back to school for a third time without the pressure I knew I would face if I gave everything up to be a full-time residential student. It felt like instead of putting all of my eggs in one basket that was destined to be dumped again, I could play a little safer. I could attend college on my own terms. I gathered my courage, I called for more info, and I was politely denied. You see, I was too young. I fell outside of the mold that the program was designed for, and on paper, I was a better fit for traditional classes. The universe was not going to just hand me back this golden college ticket. I had to prove to Bay Path, and really to myself, that I was ready for this, that I can do this. They believed me, which helped me believe in me. 2 years later, I graduated with my associate's degree, and that spark was fully ignited. I didn't care how tired I was or how many late nights I had to go. I kept going. The next year, I wrapped up my bachelor's degree. I earned my degrees, yes, and I certainly learned statistics and programming and all of those types of things, but mostly I learned about myself. I learned what I was capable of. I learned how to push. I learned when to pull back. I learned that I was holding me back and that I was the one that could push me forward. I learned all of this alongside incredible women, working women, women who were mothers, women who were getting married, women who were getting divorced. We were all so different, but we were all on the same journey. It was a true Saturday sisterhood. 3 years after I completed my bachelor's degree, I came back for my master's, this time doing it completely online. I became more sure of who I was and what I was capable of. I learned how to think differently, how to question, how to analyze both numbers and situations and my own self. Walking across that stage, earning my master's degree, was a life-altering moment for me. I, the two-time college dropout, had earned not one, not two, but 3 college degrees. I was no longer worried about that metaphorical basket tipping over. Because of Bay Path, I knew that should it ever tip again, and believe me, it has, I knew how to run after those eggs, how to pick them up, how to dust them off. Because of Bay Path, I knew how to let go of the eggs that rolled away beyond my grasp, and how to not let an egg that breaks define my life. And let me tell you, my eggs in this basket of life have rolled away. Some have painfully broken, but because of Bay Path, I am here, I am resilient, and I am worthy. Today, I'm a college student again, looking to break into that elusive 4-time BPU graduate club. I fulfilled a lifelong goal of returning to Bay Path as a staff member. But I stand before you not as an alumna, or as an employee, or even as a current student, but as a human being to remind you that education changes you. We have to own our now and the educational journey you are embarking on, whether this is your first year, your last year, or somewhere in between, is putting you in control of the rest of your life. To all of our students, no matter what kind of college student you are a part of this amazing community. And I hope you allow yourself every opportunity that Bay Path brings you to learn about whatever you're here to study, but most importantly, about the incredible, capable human you are. Carpe diem.
Good evening. As I set the stage for the introduction of the affirmation and response, I want to provide a bit of context. The affirmation by the senior students and the response from first year and transfer students together serve as the formal induction of our new students into the Bay Path community of learners and leaders. You can see this as an invitation from those already ensconced as members of the Academy to the newcomers to join them engaged in this community in the life of the mind. I remember participating in commencement as a first-year student 37 years ago this fall. I wasn't exactly sure what the ceremony meant or what joining the Academy entailed, but the ceremonial aspect certainly signaled to me the importance of convocation. And over time, as I engaged in my learning community with faculty, peers, and the tools of academia, books, lab equipment, articles, computers, etc., the idea of being part of the Academy became clearer and clearer. By commencement, another highly ceremonial event, I know that you'll be amazed by how much being a member of this community will mean to you. While we aren't conducting Convocation in person this year, we would still like to replicate this powerful and moving experience as much as we can. I therefore suggest that seniors, first-year students, and transfer students watching at home or from your dorms read along with your respective section, the affirmation or the response, and they are presented in the programs. I'm also so pleased to introduce our senior delegate, Gabriela Braga de Oliveira, who will read the senior affirmation. Gabriele will also be followed by the first year and transfer student response, read by the first year representative, Lourdes Buchanan.
Hey, I'm Gabriele de Oliveira, the 2020 Senior Delegate for Bay Path University. Welcome to Bay Path's learning community. We invite you to join us in building the road for women of leadership who brings justice through the 21st century. We are self-motivated problem posers and problem solvers inside and outside of the classroom. We're partners with faculty in curiosity and in a hunger for faculty and students recognize and foster that lifelong learning through dialogue and partnership wherever we go to bring about just and educate communities. Thank you so much and welcome to our Bay Path University community.
Hello, my name is Lourdes Buchanan and I am the 2020 first year representative for Bay Path University. We've been woken to the call of self-initiated learning. We will help build the path for women of leadership who will bring social justice through the 21st century. It all begins here at Bay Path University with learning and community. It will go on forever. Thank you.
And with the readings of the senior affirmation and the first year response, I am pleased to formally welcome first years and transfers into the Bay Path academic community, and to congratulate our seniors as they complete their journey towards commencement. I extend my deepest gratitude to the team who worked tirelessly and innovatively on this year's event. It is a reminder of the supportive community that embraces us all at Bay Path. Remember, we are strong, we are resilient, and we are Bay Path. Carpe diem.
Welcome to the incoming class and congratulations to our seniors. We're wishing you the best of years. Go Wildcats!
Welcome to Bay Path University. I'm thankful that you are here, and I can't wait to see what wonderful things you'll do.
Congratulations to the first year students and transfer students and to all the seniors who have been successful in their journey. This is sure to be an exciting and different year for all of us. Adapt, evaluate how it worked, and adapt again. You got this. You can do it. Make the most of it. Proud of you all.
Welcome to the Academy students. Carpe diem from Professor Amaral.
Good luck, everyone. Have a great year.
To our incoming class of 2024 and our outgoing class of 2021, I want to say, life is a dress rehearsal, a life for you to lead. It is yours. Carpe diem, and congratulations.
Welcome to the class of 2024. Remember to keep an open mind, be inquisitive, ask questions, and embrace your journey. To those graduating seniors, you got this. All the best.